All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Patreon. Lemaire, Nate, thank you. Sean, obviously, on the ones and twos, possibly threes and fours over there as well.
What about the 6 and
What
7s?
the hell's going on? Dude, come on, man. Come on. I told you what my daughter thinks about that crap. So happy my kindergarten daughter thinks that shit's bullshit. I was like really worried. I went to a thing at her school recently and it was like I watched all the kids. So they're like fourth graders at pep rally, like fourth grade, can I hear you? And like, but every little kid would just go, and I was like, that kind of is disappointing to watch a kid get swept up into a mindless craze. And yeah, my daughter brought it up to me last night, and I was like, no, my sweet fucking angel. I told you guys, she goes, Dad, people who say that are like zombies. I was like, yes, dude.
Dang, she's already
Good job.
bitter.
She's just, I didn't condition her thinking on it at all. I was just like, never even brought it up to her. And she was like, Dad, it kind of pisses me off of my people. So all they do is count. They're like in that range of like kindergarten, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. She counted to 49. That was as high as she could get.
Nice.
She tapped out. She's looked at her teacher and she goes, that's all I know. I know up to 49. She like for real felt bad about it. Because you don't know what like your kids are going through at school, but like we're at home and I found this out from PTA that she's like insecure about not counting to 100. And then like at home, she's been begging me to count to 100. And I don't know if you ever like had someone beg you to count to 100. You're like, fuck no. We're not fucking counting to 100 right now. Counting to 100 sucks.
It does suck.
It fucking blows. Especially I'm already tired. I'm driving. She's like, can we count to 100? I'm like, no. Found out my poor sweet child was embarrassed to only count to 49 because I've been lazy. So we've been counting to 100 big time in the house. Yeah, I got to get, well, anyway. What's going on with you guys before we delve into
I was going to say, ChatGPT, you ever ask it to count to 1 million? It's always like, all right, I'm going to start. And it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is going to be a long time. I can keep going if you want me to. Like, yeah, 4, 5. You sure you want me to keep going? Like, ChatGPT is very weary.
Yeah, because we're wasting a gallon of water every time. Every time you do that, there's a gallon of water sprayed onto some fucking server. So I was like, why should I do this?
Yeah, I'm wasting your resources.
Although that would be cool though to have like a TV in your house that's just ChatGPT constantly counting to 1 million.
Yeah.
Or just like counting, like you move into a house, it's like, bro, start the clock now. Yeah. I want you to count like that way I know how many seconds I've been in this house. That'd be kind of a bug out, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Just counting how long you're in the house.
Yeah, or doing like math problems. Just like, yo, do like advanced calculus. I'm gonna have people over and have like just advanced calculus going on in the background.
Use AI to figure out Bitcoin math.
Like how to
you can have it mine a Bitcoin for you.
Doubt it, bro.
It's probably dark web AI.
But no, they would be doing this right now.
Yeah, if it was possible, they're probably already doing it.
I don't know. Isn't it? You don't even need AI because a computer does that anyway. You have a computer do that for you already.
But like, if you have AI, it's just going to get smarter and smarter. And it's going to figure out how to solve it easier.
Oh, how to solve the
mining number.
Speaking of which, I have my Bitcoin book right there.
What the
Gradually then subtly. It's about Bitcoin. Never read it, but it's cool to think about. Yeah, that's how they mine Bitcoins. There's a math problem that gets increasingly harder or easier depending on how many people can solve it. And that, it's fucking really weird. So they want to control the supply of Bitcoin. So they make like the more Bitcoins are out there, the harder that problem gets to solve. You need more computational power to solve this crazy formula that then renders you 1 Bitcoin for solving it.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
But also, 1 Bitcoin's $300,000 now. Right?
I don't know. When you hear about that, it's like
I thought it was 100,000 or something. It just dropped, didn't it?
Did it drop?
I was dropping this morning.
My thing with the Bitcoins, like you hear that, like, oh, it's actually based on a math problem. It's like, can't we just? How about war? Can we just do? Let's just do a war-based currency. Don't win. How about this? How about you making money and I'll blow your fucking city up? Now you use my money,
dude. Man, I've been thinking about this.
What you got?
I think the double slit experiment is actually like a quantum experiment.
It is a quantum experiment. What are you talking about?
I didn't know.
It's like the foundational experiment of quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
I thought it was a simulation theory.
Double slit is when they realized you can use the pussy of the butt. No, it's Yeah, like the slit experiments when they shot a particle through a slit, and then if they shot like light through a slit, and they were like, we've talked about this before. It's like if light's a particle, it'll hit like you'll see the little particles on the other side. If it's a wave, it'll come through here, and it turn out to be both. So that's kind of like that's like one of the bases of quantum physics.
Doesn't it act different if you're looking at it?
That's
too?
the quantum theory.
Yeah.
That's the quantum theory
It's
of
the
it.
observer effect.
Yeah. Dude, that's
How do you
what
feel about that? How do you feel right now that I'm observing you? You know, wave-like or particle-like? Yeah, I don't really understand. That's the shit that I like. I'm like, this is cool, and I try to learn about it. I'm like, I have no idea.
Like where to begin.
Dude,
It's science fiction.
It is science fiction.
Well, it's a lot of the quantum physics gets kind of taken by spiritual guys who are like, I fucking knew my spiritual shit was right, and they go, because quantum physics, then you just get like so confused. You go, yeah, fuck it, you're right, dude. That's probably how it works.
That's what the lady won the Nobel Prize for this year, was basically making electrons jump from a place to another place.
Superposition.
Teleporter?
Yeah.
She
Just with
really did
electrons.
that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently quantum physics is true, but it's like so confusing.
Yeah.
It's just small. It's just really small physics.
Yeah.
But it can get big, right? If we get good enough
Yo,
at
now
it.
we're on to something now.
It's a big ass quantum
Yeah, like you go small and then it comes out. Yeah.
It is small. And it's actually, it's so small you can't even, it's like theoretical how small it is.
Yeah, dude.
I like what you're saying. We can get stuff to come here now.
Yeah.
Get some big electrons.
You know, why the fuck is big shit so hard to move? That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, dude. Wait till we get the teleportation gun. Just
Yeah.
portal gun.
Portal gun would be nice. Yeah, while we're on the such advanced topics, I actually read I read something recently about consciousness, how people try to say, well, consciousness is just inherent in matter and it's just like a byproduct of matter. But the argument this guy was making against it was like, no, it's not, because like when they say like, there's liquid that turns to ice, that turns to gas, they all share a common substratum, which is particles themselves that are now just moving faster or slower, that, whether it's ice or fucking boiling.
Yeah.
But they say consciousness has no common substratum in that sense, if that makes sense.
Like
There's no bound up thing of particles that a thought, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I regret it already. Guys, let's talk about Montezuma. I thought that was cool until I said it out loud.
That is cool, dude. That's pretty cool.
It is cool, but then I'm like, your brain's made out of particles, but your thoughts aren't.
Not your consciousness. Your consciousness is quantum.
Exactly, bro. Now we're on the same fucking page. That's kind of the use for quantum mechanics, as far as I'm concerned. If there's something I can't explain, I go, well, dude, it's all clearly bound to quantum mechanics. Explain those. Be like, they're also unfortunately bound to quantum mechanics. So,
You got the blue lights on?
oh yeah, man, I got my new pair of the yellows right now. Guys, we're okay. So I like that. We got a little refreshing banter, and you guys feel free to slip into that. And I hope you enjoyed that refreshing banter. Now we're on. Now we're on to the meat. We're grizzling on the. We're just nibbling around on the gristle. Now we're on the meat of the bone, and we are going to talk. This is chapters 7 through 9 of Conquistador. Which, sorry for the wait. I mean, I really built it up to a point where, Montezuma had just invited Cortez, finally, after eluding him, after potentially trying to kill him, as you remember, Nate. They led him to Cholula. It was a trap.
What's that city mean again? The real name?
Oh, the name of Tenochtitlan?
Yeah.
That is the City of Dreams.
The City of Dreams. Okay,
Cholula is named after a hot sauce. So a lot of hot sauce towns in Mexico. There's Tabasco, there's Tabascans. It's just like hot sauce battles.
Yeah, Valentina's.
Baskins versus Cholulas versus the Franks.
Yeah.
So, Texas Pete came later. Texas Pete came later and took half the country. So we left off Lemaire to bring you up to speed. The general gist. Cortez coming from Spain. He basically was commissioned by his Lord Patron, Velasquez, from Cuba, who was like, dude, take these ships out, go find me some fucking slaves or whatever else. And they also were on the hunt for like cool beads and shit all the time, so that was useful to trade with natives. He's like, just take like 7 boats and ideally grab me some slaves, but like see what's good with like other islands.
Yeah.
Don't try to become a conquistador. Like don't try, don't get too big for your britches. This is a simple mission. Grab me some guys, basically, to put it nicely. And And so it was, there was ZipRecruiter for them back in the day. And he's like, go do some ZipRecruiting. And Cortez is like, yo, how about I take this armada myself and found a new land. So he's trying to get in on the conquistador game. So, and you can go all the way back. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go all the way back to the beginning of this. You'll get caught up to speed. But so he goes on this long journey. People are attacking him. He's trying to be friends with the natives on the island. He fights the Mayans. Now he's fighting the Aztecs. And along the way, though, him and his boys have been through it all. They've been through like extreme hot, extreme cold. Bugs are killing them. They've battled 400 people versus 5,000.
It must suck to come from across the ocean to get killed by a bug.
Oh yeah, a lot of these guys did that.
What the fuck was that?
Your arm explodes.
Yeah, that was like multi-generations leading up to a guy getting bit by a bug in off the Tabascan Delta, off the hot sauce Delta. So these guys have literally been through it all. They've been through battle together. They've completely and utterly defeated the odds in terms of the numbers, like 400 guys versus like 5, sometimes 10, sometimes 20,000 like Mayan. Because there was like the Mayans, there was the Aztecs, and there's other tribes too. So they battled the Mayans, they vanquished, they fucked them up pretty bad. They fucked up these other guys, and meanwhile, Montezuma, who's head of Tenochtitlan, which is like that's the beating heart of the whole Aztec Empire. He's like, he knows of these guys, but he keeps sending emissaries. He's like trying to make these guys turn around because it just so happened these guys landed on the continent in the year that it was predicted that Quetzalcoatl would come back.
Ooh.
And not only that, destroy the Aztec civilization or destroy Tenochtitlan. And just so happened that Quetzalcoatl was rumored to be of white skin, blue eyes, big beards. That's exactly what these conquistadors look like. They have alien technology. No one's ever seen a horse before on this island. They've never seen fucking dogs, although they do have wolves, but they're like, the fact you have like your friend with a dog, they're like, damn, these guys are like literal beast masters.
Didn't they think they were like part of the horses
Yes,
or something?
the guys rode the horses. They thought you were half horse, half man, hybrid.
Nice. Centaurs.
Yes. So that's why they kind of smash, and they have obviously gunpowder and metal, which they had only the Aztecs only had obsidian blades, which would shatter against metal. But so that's kind of the recap. And then in the last chapter, we had Cortez and company get to the city of Cholula, where like they're received like as if like, oh yeah, because the whole time Montezuma sending emissaries telling Cortez like, yo, dude, like you're my boy. I would never do anything to you, but like, yeah, you should probably get out of here at the same time. But he's like giving him tons of gold and all this stuff. And Cortez's men are like, let's just take the gold and get the fuck out of here. And Cortez eventually scuttled the ships, and we're like, no, we're getting all the fucking gold or we're gonna die. So Cortez gets invited to Cholula, kind of like through Montezuma, and it turned out to be in the last chapter was a giant trap.
Oh.
Yep. Montezuma tried to like pay the Cholulans who were loyal to him to basically kill Cortez, and Cortez has allied himself now on this whole journey. He's actually allied himself with a bunch of tribes who are against the Aztecs because of the ritual sacrifice. They would come to your village and take like 12% of the babes.
Yeah.
Even babies and shit too. These guys are pretty nasty. Yeah, they were slitting babies' throats. We'll find out later. But so there's a bunch of these rival tribes who are like, dude, we don't want to give away our fucking families to get sacrificed in Tenochtitlan. So then Cortez actually has a sizable force that he can summon of like hundreds of thousands of these other Indian warriors. And he tells them to chill, but he takes some of them with him who are like the absolute rivals and they hate the Cholulans.
The elite.
Yeah, this is District 1. These are like District 10 guys.
Okay.
So they go to Cholula, and Cortez has some of these like other warriors who are like enemies with these guys. But he's like, yo, be cool, cool out, be chill. And once Cortez finds out through his translator, Malinche, that the whole thing's a trap, Malinche's the babe. He goes and tells these like fucking, they're called like Talaxan Sempolian warriors. He goes, yo, we're about to fuck this whole town up. So like just when they're about to leave, because the trap's just outside the city of Cholula on the main road. And they're like, yeah, all right, before we take off, Cortez gathers all of the Cholulan nobles. He's like, I just want to thank you guys. You guys are so fucking cool. Blah, blah, blah. Locks the door in the temple, slays all the nobles, and then sets these other Indian guys, because they're their enemies. He goes, yo, have at it with the town. The Indian guys just destroy this whole fucking town. And this is just the recap, mind you. So then, so they like destroy the town. They send shockwaves through the area. Now they can completely pass freely because they were like from town to town. They'd have to battle people is a whole problem. But now it's like the word's out that they just literally sacked one of the largest towns with only a few dudes. These are towns full of like, 80, 50,000 people. So they're like, who are these guys? Are they gods? That's the question floating through the Aztec mind.
Beastmasters.
Are they gods? Well, some of the horses had been chopped up in battle, so then they're like, maybe they're not gods. What the fuck's going on? So Montezuma finally foiled, a bit perplexed. He offers for at the end of chapter 6, offers Cortez and his guys. He goes, okay, you can come to Tenochtitlan. You can come to where I live. And we can formally meet because he's been like telling Cortez like we can't meet face to face.
Oh, he never wanted to meet. They never met.
He just kept sending him gold, hoping he'd go away.
And letters.
No letters. He would send dudes. So you would if rather than sending a letter back then, I would send like 700 dudes to show up with like 5 main guys all silked out, and they would like just be like, "Yo, here's a bunch of gold. The guy we work for is the fucking man." And he doesn't have time to talk to you, but just so you know, he's like, humongous deal. And then eventually they were like, yo, you should probably get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And Cortez was like, yo, fuck that, I won't. And then, blah, blah, blah. And
it's like an old school check-in. You send 700 guys to check in.
Yeah, well, you had these like kings. That was like how you flexed back in the day. Mm-hmm. You would just send 900 dudes somewhere, and they'd be like, "Whoa!" And you would just like bust out like fancy feathers and like, and you'd be like, "Damn, this guy! If he has 900 dudes laying around, he can send messages with. He must be a powerful ruler." And by the way, the big thing that comes into detail later is Cortez in one of the villages that later became his ally. He convinced them to stop paying human tributes to their Aztec, emissaries around the land, and that comes into play later because Cortez opened this tribe up to like serious retribution from their Aztec rulers because he was like they were scared of the Spaniards, so he goes, "Yo, you guys are with me. Don't give these guys any." He used that for his own benefit to like actually make these guys look like the bad guys. Yeah. So Montezuma liked him more. It's pretty dastardly what he did. But it'll come into play where he set this one village up pretty badly to where the Aztecs are about to, now that he's gone, the Aztecs are about to fuck them up. Just so you know.
Bro.
All right, so now we're in so that's the whole recap. That's long. We're in chapter 7 through 9. We're doing 7, 8, and a little bit of 9.
Do you think it was easy to like get over to stop doing human sacrifices? You're like, oh, I don't have to kill these people anymore. All right.
No, dude.
Yeah.
we talked about it last time. Apparently with the human sacrifices, they genuinely believed that you needed to spill blood on the altar steps, otherwise the heavens would fall out of the sky and that like it would stop raining. They thought like human blood was somehow connected to the gods. It was like a sacred fluid that like when it ran down those steps, it completed the cycle, then kept like rain going, that had women bear children. They just thought like blood was a sacred life force, which kind of is.
If only they realized they were in the rainforest.
True.
It's gonna rain no matter what, bro.
They didn't want to test it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
They didn't want to test it, and these guys were subject to drought and famine. That's what kind of took the Mayans out. So that but fair point. So. They should have just fucking woke up and realized they're in a climate 9 rainforest. So, all right. So we're in the start of chapter 7. Start of chapter 7. Cortez has finally been invited to Tenochtitlan, and all he's heard are rumors of this place. Like it's like it'd be like if someone would be like, Dubai times 1,000,000. If you've never been to Dubai and it was like flying cars, all this shit, where it's like you can't even wrap your head around it. But in order to get there, Cortez and, his band of guys and horses and, his kind of Indian bros, or he grabbed from other tribes. He's got like a couple hundred of them. And also, as always, he has his porters. They're slaves, Caribbean, West African slaves. They call porters throughout the book, which I think is nice. Porters is a nice way to say it.
Porters is nice.
Porters.
Yeah.
They're going along this brutal mountain terrain towards Tenochtitlan. In order to get where they are, from where they are to Tenochtitlan, they got to cross like a giant mountain range. Terrain's just rugged, dizzying altitudes, and it's fucking freezing cold. Not to mention, in the distance, there are 2 giant volcanoes just looming, which is scary as hell. Yeah. Like you're already headed to a scary place. You see 2 giant fucking volcanoes. And it was miserable. Things were miserable. There's ash fucking falling all over. It was so bad.
They're active volcanoes.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is scary stuff. So some of the Totonic warriors, they were like the first band of warriors they struck an alliance with. These guys they're like straight East Coasters. They're like, bro, they see the volcanoes. They're like, dude, we've never been this far west. Cortez, can we please just go the fuck home? We've gotten you this far. They're in their head. They're like, we're going to get chopped alive and thrown into a volcano. Like, can we please go home? Cortez graciously goes, guys, you've served me well. You know, thank you for your service. And he presses on with his Spaniards and then the Talaxan warriors, who are like a newer addition. And of course, his trusted porters, who actually they apparently had to lug all the heavy artillery up and through the mountains.
Yeah,
that was your kin. So
porter job.
That's good. It's muscles, dude.
Yeah,
strong stuff. I'm trying to find a silver lining in this, because there were a lot. That was the thing you don't think about. This party would have like 450, 600 Spaniards and like 1,000 or 2,000 porters.
Yeah,
pretty wild stuff.
The porters are on the front lines, right?
No, they just kind of like carried shit. Honestly, carried shit.
The fight.
They probably did. If anybody got attacked, they would take up arms. But for the, I mean, dude, you're carrying heavy artillery through mountains, man. You can't do it all. But
that's true.
Sorry, I'm just trying to make it fun for everybody. But okay, so the ragtag gang of travelers, let's just call them that. After some very slow going travel, because it's freezing cold, and again, these guys were like the Indian guys were like from the jungle. So now you could take a guy who lived in the rainforest. Now you're in a frozen mountaintop. They have like no clothes on. So everyone's freezing cold. Finally, after like some slow going travel, they can only make it so far every day. They make it to the base of one of the volcanoes, Popocatépetl. Translated to, you know what Popocatépetl means? If you had to guess. What'd you guess?
Life bringer.
What would you guess?
Place of life.
The hill that smokes. And hold on, here we go.
You said life, and I was like, life is in there. I feel it.
But there was a sister volcano right next to it, and that volcano was named Iztaccíhuatl. Can you guys guess what that thing was named after? I'll give you guys a hint. If Dr. Umar sees you with one of these, he goes,
Nobody.
It's called the White Woman.
White Woman.
Yeah, it was the hill that smokes next to the White Woman, which is the name of this volcano. I thought that was interesting.
That's pretty cool.
So Cortez,
volcano.
Yeah, all the porters just walked right towards Iztaccíhuatl.
Damn, that volcano thick.
So then Cortez is just like these. I don't think these guys have ever seen a volcano. So they're like, he just sees this vision of a lava jet just kind of popping out of Poco, the hill that smokes, the big one. He tells one of his bros, this is a fucking crazy side quest that I still don't understand why he did this. One of his bros, Diego de Ordaz. Now, as Nate, you'll remember, Cortez's crew, half of them were loyal to Velasquez, the guy who sent him off on the expedition. The other half were, Cortez loyalists. So after when they got all that gold from Montezuma, the order came from the king saying like, hey, Velasquez said you kind of fucked him over on the deal. I'm saying Velasquez can do whatever he wants to you. So Cortez took all of the gold they were given, which would be like, if we had like retirement money basically. Yeah. And I was like, no, we're going to ship this to the king so that we can keep going and maybe make more money. If that makes sense. So they sent all the gold on a boat and sent it to the king of Spain.
What?
So Cortez could petition the king of Spain to let him continue his conquest, promising him more gold than Velasquez could ever give him, appealing to the king's greed, basically. Because if Velasquez caught up with Cortez, they would fucking hang him. So he jacked like an armada of ships.
Yeah.
And then which he also purposely sunk after this. So all these guys, half the guys conspired to be like, fuck that, let's go get the gold. We'll cut it off on the way to Spain, take the gold, and we'll just bring it back to Velasquez and fuck Cortez. I think they're probably going to kill him. Cortez found out about it, and he like disciplined half the squad. So now this guy comes into play because Diego de Ordaz was one of the guys who tried to conspire against him. He goes, yo, Ortega, go climb the top of fucking Pocapupu, whatever the fuck it's called. Go climb Pocapelli and check it out, bro. He goes, they quote, determine whatever you can do about it and see if it's or determine whatever you can about this and see if it's dangerous. That fucking mountain that's shooting lava out of the top.
You don't think he go like, that looks bad?
No. Cortez was like, he wanted him to get up and look into the rim of the volcano. So Diego beast, and he also told Diego, it's like it'll help because you can get a bird's eye view of like whatever we may encounter terrain wise coming up. So it was, he is a bit of a military strategist there. Cortez always kind of has like a military kind of thing going on. But he sends this guy up, kind of like, man, you fucked around. Now let's have you prove yourself. So Diego de Ordaz now heads up to the volcano with 9 men, a few Spaniards, and a few of the Tlaxcan warriors. And Cortez and the rest of his guys go into the valley and take a nap where they say it's kind of
so
fucked.
pissed.
But they do add, it's like, dude, it was so cold where they were napping. They're like, oh, it was in a valley. Like, you guys would have hated this. It was freezing. It was
Next
freezing
to a
fucking.
volcano, it's cold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, I guess so. Because they were at the top of the volcano, is snow covered.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's chilly.
true.
Freezing cold. I mean, the volcano is
Worst
fucking like 17,000 feet up. So Cortez and his bros taking a nap. Diego de Ordaz has to go gets 13,000 feet up this volcano, him and his bros. And mind you, this is like
got 4,000 more feet.
oh, dude, 13,000 feet. You're above the cloud line, pretty much.
They set him up Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, so he can't
look in.
dude. They can hardly breathe. So they're so high, and they just climbed all the way up. They can hardly breathe, and there's so much ash where they like try to get a bird's eye view from there, but it's just covered in ash. He's like, can't fucking see shit. Tlaxcan warriors start bugging out, being like, dude, we know about these things. There's evil spirits that live in the top inside of them. We're not going any further. And Diego, this is kind of beast mode. Diego and one of his boys tell him to wait there. And then they hop over a small trickling stream of lava on the way up, which is kind of like, fuck you pussies, jump over lava, climb pretty much all the way to the top. They said because like it eventually became like a snow-capped peak. Yeah. So they walked the rest of the 4,000 feet to like the summit. Just was like a brutal sleet storm, snowstorm with ash from the volcano. And they got, to their words, a mere 2 lance throw away from the pit of the volcano.
Definitely
so
3
like,
lance throw.
They're definitely exaggerating. They're definitely still thousands of feet away. They're like, bro, I could have thrown a rock twice and got there. But they claim they got so close to the heat of the volcano, and they were at 18,000 feet. They claim they got so hot that their clothes would start to kind of catch fire. And at one point, the volcano hiccuped out like a couple hot rocks and lava, and they were like, fuck this. Ran down, and they met back up with their boys, the Tlaxcan warriors. And by that time, I guess like the winds had shifted, so the ash kind of parted, and they could get a full view of basically Tenochtitlan, all of its surrounding cities, the hamlets, all of that stuff. Yeah. And they were just kind of like, oh shit, it's like right there. All we got to do is keep moving. So it was.
They hit the top of the volcano and the map opened up like a video game.
Kind of sick. Yeah. According to this guy, they also might have just waited and made up all of this shit about their clothes lighting on fire. Yeah. It's like, really, these guys were also, they were all like maybe 20 years old.
Yeah.
These guys were youngsters.
Yeah, exaggerated.
Not that I would do the same thing at 40 and be like, yeah, I was all, dude, it was crazy, bro. My fucking clothes lit on fire. Honestly, if you gave me a football, 1 or 2 throws, I could have got right. So this made me laugh. So Diego and his bros go back down. They tell Cortez, they're like, yeah, the volcano is definitely dangerous. We checked it out. And they even gave Cortez a cinder from the summit being like, yo, this popped out of it. Proof that I was up there. Cortez is like, damn, nice work. Some years later, Diego de Ordaz still couldn't stop thinking about this volcano. I guess he survives the whole thing. And he, when he's back in Spain, he files an official petition with the King of Spain to amend his family's coat of arms, adding a big ass volcano onto it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just to tell the story of like, yeah, dude, your granddad looked into the volcano and they probably had to take like a piece of wheat or whatever the fuck else was off and replace it. And the king went, yo, for sure, bro. The king had to approve the pictures on your coat of arms. And he goes, yeah, you can definitely do a volcano on your coat of arms, which that's huge, dude.
Yeah.
That was massive.
Can we still have coat of arms?
I think your family does have a coat of arms. If you look it up. Oh no. We can definitely
so
chill.
nervous about my family's
the Lee family coat of arms is just 3 blunts.
3 blunts in a fart cloud.
Now I want to see if that's
Oh, god damn it. Yeah,
true.
You're right. God damn it.
True.
Coat
Damn, the
of arms.
McCusker coat of arms is so fucking sick.
Guys,
Marshall coat of arms was kind of dope.
I don't know if
actually.
it's. Oh, dude, mine's nasty as fuck. I have a fucking I have a dragon and autism puzzle piece. Oh, son of a bitch! Someone made this on the Matt and Shane Secret Podcast subreddit. And there's mushrooms at the bottom. I was like, hold on a second here. I'm connected to an ancient lineage.
I got a squirrel.
Squirrel sick.
You got a squirrel of mine. I don't know what any
God
of the
damn
other
it, you
stuff
bastards! You've tricked me.
The black and white knight.
Ooh, this is a knight. 3 lions on it, dude.
Dang, bro.
We got some good coat of arms in the Lee family.
Tight.
A rooster.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm getting mine finally. It's just
too.
cross swords. Well, that's kind of pause and Celtic cross. I think a knight helmet. If I'm not being mistaken. Oh, that's fucking sick. I don't know. That could be some bullshit. Anyway, probably one of my dumb fucking uncles did it on Ancestry.com. So Diego and his bros, after just knowing later on he puts a fucking volcano on his coat of arms, is tight. They had the same conversation we're just having right now. So they go down. So now they're at a forked path. They keep going, knowing the path forward from getting the vantage point from the top of Pocopupa or whatever. They go, and Cortez. They reach the path between. Do we go around the hill that smokes, or we go around the white woman? And they have to kind of figure out this forked path. Now, one of them was blocked off with fallen trees. They go, this is suspicious. It's like clearly man-made impediment. So what the hell is this about? Mind you, this whole time they have a couple of the Aztec guys were with them as well, just to kind of they were basically spies, but they were we're here to make sure you guys are okay, and they're probably just reporting stuff back. And also they'd had networks of dudes that just ran all the time. So you had you would be on there and there'd be a guy whose job was to run 100 miles. Yeah. And you'd be like, yo, dude, they're actually getting closer, and they would just fucking book it all the way back. It's really funny. They had text guys. They were text message guys. They had to just fucking run for months. They've gotten 10 miles closer. All right, go check on them now. I'd be like,
Falling asleep and forgetting what they said.
Yeah, they would just chop your head off probably.
Yeah, you definitely got to make something up.
They're close.
So one of the Aztec guides, Cortez, is like, yo, what the fuck's up with this blockade? Aztec guide is like, oh, dude, the one that's blocked, I know this. We did this because it's super dangerous and really hard to go this way. This way, super chill and cool. You should probably go that way. And after the shit in Cholula, Cortez goes, yeah, take those trees down. We're going this way. Fuck this guy. And kind of a beast mode. And it paid off, but it was again more cold. It's freezing. They got to get through another kind of a cold mountain pass. Eventually, they come to the edge. They're out of the mountain terrain. They're at the edge of a valley, and everyone finally gets to see the grandeur of Tenochtitlan, the thing the guy Diego glimpsed from the top of the volcano. And it's it really is crazy. And they kept saying this is nicer than anything we've ever seen in Spain. It's got, fields of fertile crops, interconnected rivers, a lake Texcoco, which they thought was a sea, is just sitting there. It's massive. And Tenochtitlan was built basically next to and somewhat on top of the lake. They had crazy building technology where they could put buildings on top of water. Yeah. So it gave them almost a dream-like quality, hence, City of Dreams. Yeah. Where you're like, damn, they had, we'll get into it later, but they had entire crop fields that they learned how to plant inside of a lake, so it looked like the crops are just floating on the top. It's pretty fucking sick. So
why don't we do that stuff now?
We could. I mean, we'd have to. You know what? I don't know. And they took all the poop from the village and threw it in there too, which fertilizes. It's kind of a sick setup. So okay, so they're they can see Tenochtitlan in the distance, but they still got to get through. And every main city has their little suburb areas and shit, villages and whatnot. So they head down into the valley and they encounter a village. And no one's there. But there's tons of food and firewood, and almost like Montezuma knew they'd come there somehow, which obviously he had his runners and stuff. So Cortez is kind of pumped on the grubs. These guys are starving. They've been freezing for now, a long time. And But he's like, dude, I don't know, man. This feels like a trap. Keeps people stand watch. He has like sentries kind of surround him, looking out for Aztec spies. So they just chill, get the grub. The next day they go into another village, and this one actually has about 5,000 people kind of buzzing around. And the chiefs of this village, they come right out to Cortez on some fuck Montezuma shit right off the bat. They're like, bro, fuck Montezuma. He taxes us too hard. Again, takes a lot of their babes. He's cutting their babes' heads off. Cortez is like, all right, good to know. And he's like, I'll let you know if I need your help. Cortez, this is major. He's like, all right, they have people who don't like them this close. Because he already had hundreds of thousands of people he could get, but they had to make that brutal trek that they made. He's like, that'll kind of fuck my troops up. So they're passing through the valley, another village down the road. They're greeted by an embassy of another giant party of Aztec noblemen. And they were like, hey, man, welcome you here. We're so happy you're here. But this was another trick played by the ruler Montezuma. The embassy was really a gang of his best magicians and sorcerers sent to curse Cortez and his gang, hopefully to summon a brutal wind or to give them sores.
This guy's going like this.
Yeah, dude, they had a guy.
Hit him with a got your nose.
They had the Skrilla mask. Dude, they had the Skrilla mask like, yo, I got your soda. I got your soda. So they're saying these guys are just wizards, bro. They sent the fucking wizards on the low, dressed in high-ranking nobleman finery, trying to give them like body sores and headaches and shit. Just thinking they would hit something or a powerful wind that would scare them off and make them leave. But on top of this, though, they did bring another fuck ton of gold, which the Spaniards were just like, they said in the book, still delirious from the altitude shit, just got into the gold and went full Scrooge McDuck and were like throwing it around, just went completely bonkers over the gold. And also another guy came out being like, after that whole ceremony, they like unveiled this guy and they're like, yo, it's Montezuma. It's another part of his trick. And one of the Tlaxcan warriors was like, whispered to Cortez's interpreter, being like, that's just not Montezuma. Like, we know what he looks like. That looks nothing like him. So Cortez is just kind of like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, yo, I know you're fucking around. And they were like, all right.
Got us.
All right,
So like, he didn't know about the wizards, I don't think, as much, but he knows that
they're not Cortez.
that's not the real that's not the real Montezuma.
Yeah.
He didn't think about it. You would never think. Humana. So Cortez goes back to the village that were like, yo, fuck the Aztecs. And when he gets back there, they give him more gold. And they also give him 40 slave ladies. They go, hey, 40 slave girls, they're yours. Yeah, well, they would like cook for you. You needed like a couple ladies. It was a really brutal job, man, to be like the 40 girls that were just around a troop of 200 Spaniards and fucking native Indians.
That's five a girl.
Huh?
I said that's five a girl.
Those ladies were, I mean, best case scenario, getting their butts grabbed. They were getting, that's a rough life, dude. So they're in there. So Cortez is being welcomed like a hero back into this village. I guess where he, survived the wizard attack and the fake Montezuma. So now they get greeted by another Aztec emissary. This time it's actually Montezuma's nephew, the king of Texcoco, which is a big kingdom right outside of Tenochtitlan. And apparently this dude, you could tell he was the real deal. This dude's fly as can be. He's literally decked out in like gold. He has feathers were like very, very like, they were viewed very sacredly back then. Like the Aztecs thought feathers were cooler than gold, if they were being honest. Mm-hmm. So he's got all kinds of intricate feather work, jewelry. They tell Cortez through Malinche, his translator / basically his wife. They're like, yo, Montezuma, the real Montezuma wanted to come, but he just has a cold. So he's he's definitely going to chill with you once you get to Tenochtitlan, but like he literally sent his nephew, which is like a big deal.
Yeah. It's like trying to hang out with somebody from LA.
Huh?
Yeah. Cortez is just trying to get a meeting, and he's like, all right, I'm a little sick. Let's push it back.
Yeah, literally hitting with that back then. Yeah. And again, I think we explained the layout, but Tenochtitlan, again, it's like the New York City of this place. It's like the beating heart of the whole Aztec Empire, and it's surrounded by all of these other smaller kingdoms, which we said were like built above lakes, which gave it kind of that dreamlike quality to see stone structures just like sitting on top of water. Like, didn't look real. Again, it vastly surpassed and this is along with other historical sources, and Cortez himself, surpassed anything that could be found in Spain at the time. The population was 5 times larger than any of the biggest European cities. It was really like the biggest city in the world at the time, according to people. So Cortez, he gets into Tenochtitlan. Again, they're just like, bro, this thing is fucking nuts. His guys are all just kind of like, this is crazy. So in order, he like doesn't want to be caught off guard. So he's like, let's project our own strength here. So the first morning he gets into Tenochtitlan, he dresses his guys up in their finest armor. They were right outside of Tenochtitlan in Texcoco. And the morning they go to Tenochtitlan, Cortez just like, let's fucking, make a show out of this. Get like strict military formation in their finest armors, weaponed up, horsed up. They lead a procession across the town, and they're just swarmed by onlookers, people pulling up in canoes, people on feet, just a massive number of people. And they're just kind of like, oh shit, there's a lot of these fucking guys here. And then while they're trying to show out, like the Cortez or like the sources were saying, like these Spanish soldiers had like their mouths open, just like in awe at these floating gardens on the lakes. They're called chinampas. I already explained those. They were done by just kind of putting a massive enclosure underwater. Then you'd fill it with soil, creating a little island, and then dump all of the town's human feces, which kind of got rid of the poop problem, into the soil. And then it would allow it to grow super rich crops inside of the lakes. And at the height of Aztec civilization, they had about 2.3 million acres of chiampa.
Dude, it was a fully sustainable society.
Had that figured out. They had that figured out. They did. It's just, man, they should have not chopped babies' heads off. Kicked them down the steps. That really fucking stinks. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So, again, the Aztecs are looking at these Spaniards rolling into, entering the threshold of the city of dreams, Tenochtitlan, going, and some of the Aztec sources were like trying to figure out if these guys had turned into metal, because they're in metal armor, and they're like, damn, are these metal guys? And again, they're on tops of horses. They have dogs with like foam in their mouths running around. So they're like, basically, how do these guys get wolves to obey them? These guys are like, and they, again, like, are they gods? Are they not? That was always in the back of their mind. So then
they bleed.
So, dude, they lower a bridge. This is how you get into Tenochtitlan. It's pretty much completely surrounded by water. They lower this one very narrow bridge. Everyone comes across this bridge, which, again, if you're thinking militarily, it's like, damn, if they raise that bridge, you have no escape. So that's kind of floating in Cortez's mind the whole time. So the date, by the way, this is a historic moment, is November 8th, 1519, 9 months after sailing from Cuba and 3 months straight of marching and fighting. They're greeted by an envoy of Aztecs who basically allow them into Tenochtitlan proper. And they're also kind of like looking at Malinche, because they're like, okay, this lady clearly is one of us, but she can speak our language. She used to be a prostitute, and she was actually a born noble who fell into slavery, became a prostitute, blah, blah, blah. And so she was able to speak like 5 or 6 different dialects, and then had learned Spanish through, through like another interpreter.
Yeah, she's picking herself up by her bootstraps.
Big time, bro. Big time. So they almost thought this lady Malinche was a goddess, because like, dude, how does she know so many languages? She's definitely like some weird Aztec goddess. So they're like, fuck, dude, it's just a tense vibe. They're like, what's going on? So then here comes the real guy, Montezuma. Massive, unlike anything else, procession ensues. Scores of dudes just dressed in like literally gem-lined, silver and gold-plated clothing, feathers out of the wazoo. Finally, Montezuma himself emerges out of the crowd. People would lay cloaks down so his feet never touched the ground, swept, rocks out of the path. And him and Cortez, after all that, after basically a year, they finally meet. They're sizing each other up. Montezuma, again, dude, fly as can be, silks, gold. He has a bluestone hummingbird lip ring, turquoise. Well, the hummingbird's the god of war, as we'll see. It's like their main deity. Turquoise earrings, deep green jade nose ring. He's just fucking, the setup's dripped the fuck out. And he's all class and grace. He's very clean, manicured, with like very intense meditative eyes. because he was actually kind of like a high priest. He was actually the highest priest.
He wasn't a warrior? I thought
He was the priest warrior distinction wasn't as clear cut back then. The priest was a higher thing, but he also had like intense military training. And Cortez, on the other hand, looked completely the opposite kind of. He was like wildly unkempt, big beard, scarred from battle. Just had like a crazy look to himself, because he had been like feral for basically a year.
I'm more of a Cortez guy.
Yeah,
that would be me.
Kind of sick.
That would be me.
I mean, I can appreciate Montezuma's vibe, dude.
like the drip
God
out.
of War, hummingbird lip ring. Come on, man.
It's kind of badass.
It's fucking
Whole
nasty.
squad dripped out.
The whole squad so dripped, laying cloaks down before you step. I mean, that is probably before the fall, though. Obviously, the guy who comes out of the woods
James
fucks him
Brown.
up.
Or James Brown.
Dude, so there's a quiet pause where nobody knows what to do. Montezuma finally leans forward and smells Cortez. And Cortez, caught off guard, tries to hug Montezuma, but was stopped by Montezuma's security. And Cortez asks him, "Are you Montezuma?" And Montezuma replies, "Yes, I am he." And Cortez then gives him a pearl and a glass bead necklace, or it was a pearl, pause obviously, gives him a pearl necklace that had glass beads as well, that he had soaked in perfume. He goes, "Yo, check this shit out." And Montezuma's like, right on. Montezuma hooks him up with a red snail shell bracelet with gold shrimps, which are like little gold shrimp figurines, which is pretty fucking nasty as well. And also the red snail shell bracelet is like apparently like the fly shit you can get, and the Aztecs fucking love that.
Yeah.
But the necklace he gave Cortez was thought to have been worn by Quetzalcoatl himself. It was like one of the craziest it would be like getting like a splinter from the cross.
Yeah.
Being like, "Yo, here you go." It was just like a prized religious relic. And then Montezuma excuses himself, being like, "Yo, you guys are probably tired. You guys should sleep." And he's like, "I'll give you guys kind of your setup." So he gives them like, Cortez and the officers get a crazy palatial setup in the castle, the building, so to speak, where his, castle, so to speak, where his father, who used to be king, who's now dead, it's just an abandoned castle that his dad used to live in. So I guess back then, they were just stunting so hard. Like when he became king, he's like, "Dude, I'm not living in my dad's bullshit." That's fucking awesome. So he built his own. Yeah, he had his own structure built.
I need a nice Playboy castle.
Yeah, he was like, "Dude, that's like so old school." I'm like, I got different taste. So Cortez and all of his fucking high-ranking bros get to chill in his basically Montezuma's dad's castle, and like the Tlaxcans, the Porters. They're just the Tlaxcans especially were eyed suspiciously as hell, because they are the avowed enemies of the Aztecs. Like they were like for real, like at war. They were kind of eyed suspiciously, but they just gave them like just regular housing. Basically, they were like, "You can just live in a house. We have a bunch of houses here. You're not living in the palatial digs." It's like we hate the Tlaxcan guys. They're beefing, but so. That's all. So Cortez, before he leaves, he tells Malinche, like, "Yo, tell Montezuma that I'm his friend." And Malinche tells that to Montezuma, and he goes, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Oh.
So, yeah, it's, kind of bullshit. But Cortez obviously has other designs.
Yeah.
Later that day, Cortez, for whatever reason, this just like fucking cracked me up. As soon as Cortez basically like puts his bags away, he just goes out in the central square. It's like the area right near one of their massive temples. This is like the Times Square basically of this place, and just starts blasting off cannons and harbus like in the air, just to like show what's up. He just starts blasting guns and cannons up into the air.
Why?
Just to fucking be like, "Yo," because he knew how scared these guys were of this shit, so he wanted to keep everyone afraid. That's how the fear from their technology was what let them defeat huge numbers of people. So as soon as he got there, he's like, "I got to keep these guys scared, because that way they don't try shit." So it's just funny to get to a city and just start blasting fucking cannons. And it worked, because it did scare the fuck out of all the residents. So Montezuma's kind of like, all right, that was a fucking weird move on his part. But he goes, "I want to learn as much as I can about these people." So he invites Cortez, Malinche, and all of Cortez's captains to a private gathering later that afternoon. And they're met with another lavish display of, every time they meet up, they get like tons of fucking gold. Like this was the biggest display of gold and gifts they have gotten thus far. And the one they shipped back to the king earlier, they were like, "We can all retire off this." Mm-hmm. So now they're hit with another bigger payload of gold and gifts. And Cortez, nice. It's like the mother load. Yeah. Cortez fully bricked up about it, but in his head, he keeps going, "If they're giving me this much gold, Imagine what he keeps for himself. I want all of that gold too. So he wanted it all.
This guy had no quit.
Dude, he had no quit in him at all. And Montezuma addresses Cortez directly. And I have the speech in the book, but he basically addresses Cortez as if he is talking to Quetzalcoatl, which the historians go back and forth. Like, I think he was just being polite. Oh no, he actually believed it. You know what? But he gives him this long poetic speech where he's like, "You are the chosen one, the one the prophecies foretold." And it's kind of, that's all a guy can ever hope to hear at fucking dinner. But Cortez feeling like, oh fuck yeah, this guy actually, because he was aware that they kind of believed he was a god. Some of them did. He goes, yeah, that's right, it's me. He's like, I am fucking Quetzalcoatl, a powerful god, and I want to tell you, don't worry, because I think you're really cool, and I come in peace, and I'm happy to see you. And Cortez is like, Montezuma's like, right on. You should go, go see the city, go check out the city that I built, check it out for yourself. Rest up. We have plenty of time. I'm gonna hit my room and pray. Montezuma, every time he leaves Cortez, he has to go pray and like consult the gods because he's so confused what's going on. And he also had some doubts. He was like, I guess he had some sort of journal, or I don't know what the fuck it was, but there are sources that say Montezuma at this point was like, dude, I don't know. Like, something tells me he's not Quetzalcoatl, but he did arrive in the mainland on the, his ship's docked in the year, it's called One Reed in the Aztec calendar. One Reed, which was the actual year Quetzalcoatl was predicted to return. And even worse, today was One Wind in the Aztec calendar, which was the day of the whirlwind, which was the day when, quote, wizards and robbers do their black bidding, thieving treasure. This is the Aztec terminology. You know what? I wrote the note yesterday. I didn't even think about that. When wizards and robbers do their black bidding, thieving treasure while their victims slumber.
Was it Chicago?
Well, that night. So this is like, dude, that's one. It's like, imagine if we had Christmas, but the day was just about wizards doing their black bidding, where you'd be like, rather than the Christmas cheer, everyone's like, the wizards are coming today. And then all of a sudden these guys show up and you're like, dude, it's happening. Like, holy fuck. It's the whirlwind is upon us.
And they're shooting guns in the middle of the street.
Yeah, they start blasting cannons.
Sounds like you've never heard.
Yeah.
Thunder in the middle.
So that night, Montezuma, obviously never in the kingdom, went to sleep in terror. Everyone's just like, what the fuck's going on? Next morning, Cortez and his top bros, and Malinche, of course, as always, get to see Montezuma's royal palace. And the place, it's crazy. There's hundreds of rooms, servants, people making jewelry. This was like the White House of Aztec civilization. And Montezuma pulls Cortez to the side to talk while Malinche translates. And basically Cortez is like, yo, Montezuma, you're a fucking legend. I fuck with you. But you got to accept Jesus Christ as your savior. Ooh. All of your gods are nothing but nasty demons, and this human sacrifice stuff is for the birds. And Montezuma is just like, he doesn't show any emotion. He goes, yo, let's just chill with the religious talk. I'm preparing for dinner. And he goes, you go see the city again. There's a lot to see. I'm going to eat my dinner. And Montezuma, after supping, goes to the top of they use that word in the book. I love that.
Supping.
After he sups, he goes to the top of his highest temple, prays to the hummingbird god of war. He's so he's like, why the fuck's he talking about the gods? I don't like this at all. This is confusing me. It's supposed to be Quetzalcoatl. This is not. I don't know what's happening. He then sacrifices a dozen of children.
Oof.
Apparently believing, again, they say in the book,
feeling like I got to get my head straight.
He's got to get his head straight. And he really believed the fate of the entire universe depended on him figuring this out. So he goes, I need to get some child blood. I need that good blood right now. So he had to just kill a dozen children. And then he also fucking ripped the heads off a couple birds too. Damn. And just begged the gods for a vision. Like, dude, make this make sense to me, please. And while he's surrounded by children's fucking innards and stuff. So Cortez now, after kind of his first meeting with Montezuma, decides to kind of chill. He spends the next week or so checking out Tenochtitlan, specifically the area, Cortez is kind of staying around. And he also, he was checking out Montezuma's personal digs. He documented that Montezuma had about 3,000 personal guards, 150 concubines. There were thousands of women attendants, literally a few thousand, who lived in his palace. He had 1,000 personal servants who would cook elaborate meals of many different dishes, which he would only ever take one bite of. So that he'd have like 90 plates, and he would do a bite of duck, a bite of corn cake, but blah blah blah. And also he had observed Montezuma, and after one of these like elaborate meals, Montezuma would obviously sit in silence, pray to the hummingbird god, while nobody could talk to him for like hours after he eat. Only high priest could come up and like whisper shit in his ear.
Montezuma was a diva.
Dude, total diva. He was like, I think it was believed that he was like kind of almost demigod status. So he would like his setup was sick, dude. One bite off each plate is fucking beast. Next time Brittany wants to do tapas, I'm going to Montezuma out and just fucking one bite them. And then just being like, nobody can talk to me for 2 hours, but have priests whispering to you is kind of sick. And then at the end of that, he would go drink hot chocolate and smoke tobacco out of a pipe.
Can't be
Kind
bad.
of boss, dude. Minus the kid killing, dude. Kind of boss.
That's a good day. But the kid killing is only when he's in turmoil.
Exactly. No, and like major holidays too. Oh, he also had a personal zoo filled with mountain lions, jaguars, wolves, snakes, lizards, crocodiles, and every bird of prey you can think of.
That's awesome.
Yep. So Cortez is just like reeling, like, dude, this guy is just him on another level. And then he goes, so Cortez hits the marketplace and is further astounded. It's about 60,000 people trading everything you can think of, including people, obviously, butchered human body parts, animal skins, pottery, tobacco, chocolate, of course. And the Spaniards, I didn't know this. They didn't even know about tobacco yet.
Really?
Tobacco or chocolate. I could be wrong. But I don't think the Spaniards really knew much about tobacco at that point. So, we can have one of the history buffs out there can fact check that. Also, he was like kind of noting the Aztec food menu. He goes, dude, they eat everything. It's mice, worms, headless snakes, small dogs, castrated, fattened moles, even dirt at certain times of the year. And there was this algae they would leave out to dry and harden, and they let it turn into something like cheese. And Cortez actually wrote in his own personal journals, he thought the algae stuff, which he called scum, was actually delicious with the right seasoning. So he was like, dude, that stuff is awesome. But then walking around town, they did see a giant, here's the word of the day, an ossuary, which is a collection of bones. So they would take there was about 136,000 skulls stacked in neat lines, all facing, I guess, the east or like the sun. So they'd have these like skulls were like dried blood and just kind of their faces just bleached from the sunlight. And they found that to be kind of
that's crazy looking.
Haunting.
Yeah, very haunting thing to look at.
Sounds scary as heck.
Yeah, it's fucked up. 136,000 skulls would be this whole perimeter of this building. Just kind of, it's fucked up.
Yeah,
stacked. However many stories. Then he also had been hearing things about slitting infants' throats, beheading women, and dressing teenagers in recently flayed human skins, which to Cortez was chilling, no doubt.
That sounds fun though.
Being a teenager and wearing somebody's skin.
Imagine you're like a babe. You're like, what if you get like the hot babe skin?
This is just your fucking video game stuff, dude.
I'm wearing her tits.
Yeah, I'm wearing tits. Yeah,
but there'd be nothing in them.
Yeah,
You have to put your hands in them and fill them out.
that'd be fun for like 1 minute. Just pretending you got.
Some of these societies used to do this, man. These tropical societies where like they would pick the hottest lady in the village, and then the priest would like skin her alive and then wear her skin and walk through the town. So like a lot of these places, everyone's like, dude, man, it was like we could have learned from them. It's like, I don't know, some of the shit they did. This wasn't the Aztecs who did this, but they were different, like tropical.
sounds like a freaky ass priest.
Freaky ass motherfucking priest.
Busted inside.
Yeah, and they're worried about how far we've come, and now what? We're just touching boys.
Yeah,
We used to wear their skin. We are progressing, guys.
that's progress, but I missed the creativity.
He also saw this game was called Talachi. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this is a game I described really early on. I don't know if you guys remember, but to bring anyone up to speed who missed it, imagine a game. It was played on like an I-shaped kind of courtyard, a capital I-shaped courtyard. So it's like two horizontal lines, vertical line. And it would be like if you mixed up basketball and soccer, but instead of the regular basketball or soccer ball, you had a purely rubber 100-pound ball that you had to try to get through a hoop without using your hands. So most of the game was just like getting this ball down to the other. I don't think it ever really went through the hoop. I think if you got it close and touched the other person's wall, you get points. But most of this game was people like breaking their bones trying to like hit a heavy, bouncy ball with like their hip or legs or like knees. And it was just people getting like devastated by this ball.
Is this a game they play with the heads?
No, I don't think so. But this game was like an important part of religious festivals, and they would actually settle bets if they had like an argument. Montezuma actually had an argument earlier on with a local king that was part of his like whole kingdom about there was a meteor they saw in the sky, and the I think it was a high priest actually, and he was like, "Yo, that meteor, that means that something bad is going to happen to your city." And Montezuma was like, "No, it fucking doesn't." And then they had to settle it with a game. They settled it with a game of Talachi, which is them just again bang. Imagine the heaviest bouncy ball ever, and you have to like get it to the side of the wall, not being able to use any of your kind of extremities.
And the hoop was high up, wasn't it?
Hoop was high.
Googled it.
Hoop was like
high
12 fucking feet high,
and like sideways.
Yeah, it was fucked up. But the Montezuma lost that game, by the way, when he was supposed to prove that guy wrong. So that was also hanging over his head. So
Taking L's.
after touring the city and getting, the good and the bad, Cortez asked Montezuma if he can see inside the main temple, the one to the hummingbird god of war, Huitzilopochtli. Montezuma takes him personally, along with a giant retinue of guards and servants and priests. And Cortez brings Malinche, of course, and obviously a few of his most trusted captains. And they get to the bottom of this fucking massive temple. And Montezuma tells them all to wait at the bottom, and he begins his ascent up the 114 very steep stairs that were designed that way purposely so that bodies and heads would make it all the way to the bottom when hurled off the 150-foot top of the staircase. So there's a reason behind that. So Montezuma gets so high, he disappears from view. And then some of the priests offer to help Cortez and his men kind of up the steps because they were very steep and, if you weren't used to them, they were kind of tricky. And, but these guys are being filled with these tales of headless babies and women. So some of Cortez's men draw swords on the priests, like, do not fucking touch me. I know what you guys do in these places. Back the fuck up. We'll walk up ourselves. So, they go to walk to the top by themselves. The only problem is the temple itself was built on the city's highest point of elevation. So they're 7,000 feet up above sea level starting. And when the Spaniards finally got to the top of the steps, weighted in all their armor, they were just panting like dogs. They're totally out of breath. Montezuma, who goes up there every day, is just smiling and be like, "Yo, you guys fucking tired?" And Cortez fucking pretends not to be tired and tells them that Spaniards are never tired, hits him with Kevin Gates. He goes, "Spaniards don't get tired." And like Montezuma laughs because all of his boys are like visibly doubled over, trying to catch the breath. But the view apparently was incredible from the top. You're looking out on all of the nearby cities, the Valley of Mexico, the Texcoco River. So it's beautiful. But then like Cortez and his guys are seeing all these blood-stained rocks around. There were two shrines at the top of the temple. One was to the hummingbird god, we know about that. And the other one was to a god known as the Smoking Mirror, which was some mysterious, omnipotent god known as Tezcatlipoca. So the Smoking Mirror was like this.
His first name's Ted.
Tez.
Tez, okay.
Tezcatlipoca.
I thought you said Ted Cacapulca.
The Smoking Mirror guy sounds cool because it's like, you have the hummingbird, which is like, okay, I kind of see you're a tiny hummingbird war. Kind of get that. Smoking Mirror is like, damn, that's kind of tight. There's a smoking mirror.
Yeah. I don't get the hummingbird through war.
I think it's like a tiny thing that's also powerful.
Yeah.
They kind of love that shit. Fast, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. You don't recognize like the poetic kind of resonance between the hummingbird god of war?
No.
Fine, whatever.
They just move their arms real fast.
They're so fast. When's the last time you saw a hummingbird?
It's been a while.
Dude, I catch them in my neighborhood. I catch them. There's I think around, is it springtime? There's a certain time where I'll see like 10 a day and nothing makes me happier. I love those things.
Yeah.
So, okay, so they get up to the top. There's kind of dual shrines, one to the hummingbird god, one to the smoking mirror. And Montezuma now has a bunch of his high priests kind of come out of nowhere. And these are like gnarly looking guys. They're like goth bros who just chill at the top of this place all day. They're pale and gaunt from fasting and bloodletting. They have like blood matted long hair. And, Cortez and his bros are like, "Yo, what's this? What are we getting fucking chopped up?" This is, they're kind of like not really feeling this. And Cortez goes, "Yo, let me see inside of the Hummingbird Shrine, which is like the top level shrine. And Montezuma is like, I don't know. And he thinks about it. And he goes, all right, Cortez, you're about to see what only like literally a few select Aztecs ever can see in their entire lifetime. He goes, I'll bring you in. I'll show you the fucking thing. Thinking like maybe it'll change his mind on my gods. And so they go into the inner sanctum, and there's basically a really sick statue of a hummingbird made of gold, jeweled eyes, with a bunch of freshly cut human hearts chilling underneath it. Ooh. Cortez just sick, and he goes, dude, inside the temple, he goes, how do you not see that you're worshiping not gods, but devils? And he goes, can I please install like a cross in here, some Christian stuff? And Montezuma, finally having enough of Cortez's talk and negging his gods, he goes, bro, I would never have let you in here if I knew you were going to be all negative about my fucking gods. And he goes, this was a fucking mistake. I shouldn't have done this. I'll hear nothing else on this matter. Get the fuck out of here. Cortez and his guys go all the way back to the bottom while Montezuma chills at the top with his bros, begging the gods to forgive him for allowing the vile foreigner into the inner sanctum. So now Cortez, a couple days go by. Cortez is like, yeah, that was kind of fucked up in that temple. He asks Montezuma, he goes, yo, can we get like a small space so me and my bros can hold mass? Because Montezuma did tell him, like, dude, just because you think your gods are good doesn't mean my gods are bad. We can both have good gods. So I think Cortez is like, yo, since, both our gods are good, can I hold mass in my place? Montezuma grants him a wish, erecting a small structure to suit the purpose. But the structure he built was built, I guess, adjacent to the castle that they were staying in that belonged to his father. So one day, while the place is almost finished, one of Cortez's own carpenters found a door that had been poorly plastered over that led into a room inside the old castle. And he gets Cortez, and they secretly open the plastered entrance, shocked to discover a room filled entirely with treasure. So apparently this room was filled with all of the taxes from his father's 13-year reign that he had collected across all the lands as they had kind of expanded and centralized their kind of grip on power.
And Montezuma didn't know it was there?
I don't think he did. I got to read into the book, but I tried seeing if it was, but I don't think he knew it was there, honestly. Because I think later on, not to spoiler, it's obviously we know Montezuma gets ousted. I think later on Montezuma is like, yo, you can keep the gold, just give me the feathers from that room. He goes, gold is for men, feathers belong to the gods. So he like eventually requests all the feathers. Yeah.
It's a bird culture.
Big bird culture. Yeah, love hummingbirds, love feathers. So Cortez's men are like freaking the fuck out. And they're like, yo, guys, chill. This will be ours soon enough. So now it's like, you got the gold fever going. And then during these next few days, everyone's getting a little bugged out because they had a bad interaction in the temple. And also Cortez, having viewed the surrounding area from the tops of the temple, always military minded, was like, dude, we are fucking trapped on all sides. He's like, this at the single command, the guy can raise the bridge, and like, we're fucked. And also a lot of the Tlaxan warriors were telling him like, yo, these Aztec guys were like, they've been tolerating us, but now they're like getting shitty towards us. And even some of Cortez's own guys were like, yo, dude, we're feeling kind of a vibe shift as well. They're like, we got to get the fuck out. This is fucked up. Like, they're going to kill us in here. So Cortez is bugging out. Luckily, they have their little headquarter place where they can do their kind of mass. So that's kind of like their little sanctuary. One day they're in there doing stuff, and a letter's brought by one of the Tlaxan emissaries, one of those fucking runner guys. He brings them a letter, and it's bearing grim news from Veracruz. Now, Lemaire, Veracruz is Cortez's foundational city. That was the thing he founded that legally, still shady, allowed him to kind of remove himself from Vasquez's patronage. Yeah. Because he goes, no, I founded my own city, therefore I don't have to answer to you. It's a very shady thing, but he did love Veracruz as the city of the true cross, the one true cross. And it was like his prize city. He was happy about it.
Yeah.
But so what happened was when he left, this guy, Juan Escalante, Cortez left him in charge of that town. This guy was killed. So what happened was, remember I brought up how the Totonacs, how Cortez was like, yo, don't pay them tribute tax with people, tell them to fuck off. So when Cortez left, the neighboring Aztec chieftain was like, yo, Juan Escalante, we know your boys with Cortez. We love Cortez. We got to figure out this fucking, sacrifice fucking human person tax. Man, can we just talk about it? So Juan's like, yo, for sure. He brings a handful of his bros, and they just get brutally attacked. 2 were killed on the spot. 2 Spaniards killed. The rest escape. Escalante, the Valiant, mounts a force of his own men and a few thousand Teutonic warriors. So now they're fighting for Teutonic independence and obviously to hold off Veracruz. So they ride into battle against this Aztec kind of fiefdom, and Escalante was knocked off his horse and ultimately wounded and defeated in battle. Another one of the Spaniards was captured and sacrificed. His head was actually sent to Montezuma as a present, but Montezuma had been like kind of disturbed by it and told him to get it out of there. So all this drama was going on, and
That
Cortez
disturbed him.
it was just this guy with a giant black beard in his face. Like Montezuma's like, bro, I'm trying to fucking pray. Like, get that thing out of my fucking face. He also was like, I got Cortez right here. What the fuck are you doing with that, man? It caused a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And by the way, Cortez already knew all about this, but he didn't want to get his boys all upset. But now that the cat was out of the bag, he was like, oh shit, the thing gave him an idea. Plus he had this letter. So Cortez, by the way, had been scheming on ways to capture Montezuma this whole time without causing a disturbance. And this letter to him was a key. So Cortez requests a letter with Montezuma, or a meeting with Montezuma. Montezuma agrees. And again, same thing, like, yo, just like he did in Cholula, like, I just want to, like, you're like the fucking man. I just want to, like, honor you. Cortez brings Malinche and just a small handful of his most trusted captains, a couple guys, small party. And Montezuma welcomes him again, gifts, all that shit. He even offers Cortez the hand of his daughter in marriage, and Cortez declines, telling Montezuma, I'm already married. I have my translator, babe. And he has a wife back in Cuba, too. But
Hey, you.
yeah, he sets one of his captains up with Montezuma's daughter, and the captain's like, yo, sick. So like, there's like genuine pleasantries out of the way. Cortez just goes, I mean, it's just like an unprecedented vibe shift. Just like, fuck you, Montezuma. I fucking know you're involved in the conspiracy, killing my boy in Veracruz, and you killed one of his horses. You're a piece of shit. But then he would be like, I don't know, dude. But then he did this a lot to Montezuma, where he'd be like, but I can't even believe it, dude, because like obviously we're like the closest of friends. So I don't even believe those guys. But he goes, oh yeah, but then there was that thing in Cholula where we were going to get attacked, which I think you were kind of implicated in that as well. Dude, I don't know. We're gonna have to do a full investigation into this, dude. And Montezuma right away is like, I had nothing to do with that. I can summon the people from there. We'll get to the bottom of this. I'll punish them, I promise. And Cortez is like, dude, like I have no desire to start a war on this account. I don't want to destroy your city, which is a funny thing he claimed.
Damn.
He goes, look, everything's going to be forgiven, but provided you now come quietly with us to our quarters and make no protest. So like you're our prisoner now while we sort this out. And Montezuma's just like, what the fuck? So he's like, dude, and Cortez is like, dude, it's just a formality. You'll be well served and attended to. Like, you're in your own palace. But if you cry out now or like raise any commotion, one of these guys is going to basically impale you with a sword. And that's the reason I bought them here. So Montezuma, completely caught on the back foot, didn't see this Cortez playing this card. Like I said, pleads his innocence. But he's like, this is kind of a really sick, I might use this if I ever get arrested. He was like, I hear you, dude. I want to get to the bottom of this with you. But he goes, this is his quote. He says, my person is not such that can be made a prisoner of. He's being like, I can't be I'm not a prisoner, dude. Like, you're just crazy you're even suggesting this.
Bars.
And he goes, plus, if my people see me as your prisoner, they're going to fucking melt down. So he goes, look, we're not doing this. And they go back and forth for a long time. And then one of Cortez's guys, Leon, just spazzes, being like, dude, if any of his guards come back, they're going to call the other guards. We're going to get killed. He's like, basically said, like, either we take him or knife him. If we don't look after ourselves, we shall be dead men. But he's saying this like spastically. And Montezuma, he doesn't know what Leon said, but he's kind of reading his tone and probably like the jabbing of a sword. So he pleads. Well,
Just a language you don't understand.
yeah. So he pleads to Malinche to translate. And Malinche, always a stoic babe, tells Montezuma, like, you better go along with Cortez. And she's like, you'll be fine if you do everything he says. But if you don't, these guys will definitely stab you. So Montezuma's like, fine, I'll fucking go. He's like, but on one condition, it's got to look like it's my idea to go with you. I want to keep up appearances. He's like, I'm going to send a messenger to tell my high priest that after considerable prayer, I've decided to live with Cortez and his men for a few days just so I can learn their ways. And after this was done, Montezuma was escorted by Cortez to the Spaniards' quarters, which is his, his dead father's palace, as the town people all stared in amazement, wondering what was happening. And we're going to end here. This was the first step in the most astonishing takeover in all of military history. But as the author says, little did Cortez know that the real fight for the Aztec Empire had only just begun.
Ooh.
So you always hear that he just kind of like took him prisoner real quick, but that's how he did it. It was all tied back to his city of Veracruz. And he kind of just like jacked him basically. He was like, yo, we're going to kill you right fucking now.
Yeah.
Which they could do. That was like a thing he didn't even consider. Like, yeah, they could fucking kill me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you kill me, my guys will kill you. But he's probably like, I don't want to fucking die.
Yeah.
So he was like, fine.
It was straight up like a robbery where it's like, all right, wait. Now, can I give you what I want to give you? Like, you guys can have some stuff, but like...
Dude, I don't know. And he just was like, I'll go. Like thinking like probably like, all right, I'll go with these guys and I'm here. This is my city. There's just a couple of these. Wizards.
The wizards and black spirits.
So that's it. And then we'll pick up in chapter 9. We'll try to do like 3 more chapters. But yeah, that was a long one. How long was it? There we go. Well, there you have it, guys. Any final words on the that we finally, ladies and gentlemen, we've captured Montezuma.
I can't
We
wait.
got
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
They really did get him like that, man. Just a quick cloak and dagger.
Yeah.
But I always heard about it in a way that almost sounded like cartoonish, where they're just like in a room and they're like, come with us. But there was a lot more to it than, you think. So
the whole setup. Yeah.
By the way, the book, we're like this far into the book. There's like that much left. So there really must be a lot of like pretty brutal battles. And, I think maybe the other troops come in, attack. I don't know what happens. So I genuinely have no idea. So it'll be cool to find out. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.